is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. I'm going to give it to y'all early today. We're going to talk about 7 players. 2 of them is honorable mention, and then the other one are going to be in the top 5. These are guys coming into the season. We expected them to be better. We expected them to take a step to the next level to help their team reach the goals that we thought that they could reach. Or these are just players that never really realized their potential or didn't have the breakout season or the resurrection seasons that they needed to have to help their career, change the way we feel about their career, or help elevate their team to another level to help them get to levels that they probably didn't reach or disappointed in general. And a lot of it has to do with them not, evolving or resurrecting their career, playing better. So I wanted to give you all a top 5 list with 2 honorable mentions of guys that just didn't cut it or just didn't play great enough or disappointed us this entire season. This is just my opinion. So let's get into it. Andrew Wiggins, yeah, he's averaging 21 points per game. He's having a better season than he had in the last couple of years. He did get traded to the Warriors, so Minnesota, they gave him the money. They expected him to be better. They expected him to do more. They really wanted him to be that guy. He got drafted by the Cavaliers and got traded for Kevin Love. They really felt like they had a strong piece. He ended up winning rookie sophomore game MVP, went on to win Rookie of the Year. Really looked like a star in the making, a guy that can really be a cornerstone, a pillar of a franchise just because he was only a teenager and he really showed that he can score on the NBA level, even though he never had the greatest season or he really was a guaranteed superstar. He was the #1 pick for a reason. If you're willing to give up Kevin Love, who was already a top 10, top 15 player, whoever you ask, at that point of his career for a guy of this caliber, you probably expected him to be a lot better. And then on top of that, to give him the contract that they gave him, really showed that they really believe that he can be great. And then for them to draft Towns, and you have a guy that's on the wing, but also a guy inside that can play with a guy on the wing, whether he's posting up or even playing in the pick and roll or even stretching out the floor for a guy like Wiggins to handle the ball and do his thing. It sounded like a match made in heaven and a perfect complementary piece, but Wiggins never turned out to that. They ended up giving in on him, traded him for D'Angelo Russell, who is Towns' best friend and who's probably a better fit for Towns than Wiggins, which is sad because he's a bigger guy and the league is based off wings and guards. And Wiggins had the ability to be a two-way player, never realized that potential, and now he's in Golden State starting a new beginning, a new journey. Hasn't looked too great in Golden State so far, but they're trying to resurrect his image in his game and trying to find a new Wiggins, but he has disappointed us so far this season. Even so far for Golden State. Myles Turner, a guy that's long, lanky, can shoot, space out the floor, defend multiple positions, switch and guard multiple positions, and still rebound at a solid level. Gives you versatility. He can play the 4 or the 5, but he never really became the scorer that we thought he can be. He looked dominant in Summer League. He looked great as a rookie, and he really had the potential and the whole package to really become an offensive force. He never really realized his offensive talent. He'd rather be passive. He disappears, and he never asserted himself to be dominant. It seemed like he lost it and became a role player, and it seems like he's fine with being a role player, which isn't a bad thing. But when you give him the contract that you gave him, and you drafted and took a gamble on him and got rid of Roy Hibbert, who was an all-star caliber player, even though he fell off, you really thought you had something special and something potentially great that can even be greater, especially off the season that he had last year. But he never really built upon this year. He kind of faded away, and his talent dimmed a little bit, and he hasn't even had the season that we thought he'd have coming off the season from last year, and that's why he's disappointing. CJ McCollum, we always knew he was a #2, but when you lose Nurkic and you lose a lot of your roster, somebody has to take up and help. Step up and help. Dame stepped up and put himself into the honorable mention MVP conversation, but he never really had the help throughout the whole entire season. Hassan Whiteside has played the best basketball that he can play. Carmelo was an addition later in the season for free because they just gave up a roster spot to get Carmelo, and he has been productive considering his circumstances and their circumstances, and he has been an upgrade. But CJ was a guy that I thought can really play at an all-star caliber level, and he never was able to play at that level, even though he did play better later in the season. He needed to do it throughout the whole season to have the Portland Trailblazers have a legitimate chance of making it to the playoffs. He was never able to get that to go consistently and was never able to elevate his teammates and his play throughout the season. While Dame did it, CJ never really did it throughout when they played together, and that really helped the Portland Trailblazers probably miss the playoffs for the first time in multiple years, which is a disappointing season for the Blazers, but not just the Blazers, also for CJ McCollum. Malcolm Brogdon, a lot of people feel like he had a legitimate case of being the most improved player, and then you realize that he got off to a great start. A lot of people felt like he can make it to the All-Star team. Some small little nagging injuries delayed that and hurt him, and it hurt his overall numbers, but he never really had the dominant impact that we really thought that he would have. Coming off a 50, 40, 90 season with the Bucks, they gave him almost a full max contract to come to Indy, and he really showed that he can hold that mantle. But with Victor Oladipo coming back and Sabonis being the only All-Star on his team, even though they've been the top 6 team in the East, we all thought coming into the season that the All-Star would definitely be Brogdon, and he would be in that most improved player race. And right now, he's not in the most improved player race, and I didn't even really consider him as a legitimate chance to be an All-Star, and I would consider that a disappointing season for Malcolm Brogdon, especially coming off the contract extension that he got from the Pacers, and the fact that they gave up assets to get him because they really thought he could be the missing piece. Now, even though Oladipo is coming back and they have time to figure it out, gel, and get on the same page and take this team to a higher level, now that they have both of them healthy, we're going to see if they can really mesh and play well together with their two bigs and a perimeter addition, TJ Warren, and their great coach running gun style with great defense and great, offense too, and Nate McMillan. They have the package to do something special. Will they be able to get it done? But even if they do, Brogdon, I expected him to be better. Kyrie, only reason why Kyrie is on here is because he put up a lot of numbers, but the team didn't win. They never was an elite team the entire season, even when he was healthy. I do love Kyrie. I did have him making it to the All-Star team, but injuries really derailed and ruined his career to the point where he came back, had a good performance, but he ended up going right back out with a shoulder injury, which would take him out for the rest of the season, including the playoffs. Even if the coronavirus did stop, I think he still won't play in general, which means Kyrie, not only did he not help the team win when he did play, and it was below 500 majority of the season even when he was playing, that's a season that we all thought would be disappointing because we all thought Kyrie would finally want to lead a team, even though he's been showing that he wanted to be the franchise guy, he wanted to be the guy. He still hasn't proven it throughout a season that he can stay healthy, which is disappointing, and he hasn't shown that he can really lead the team to be a serious contender. Maybe Kevin Durant can come back in some trades and some moves to make the roster better, can make him to a championship contender. But a healthy Kyrie and Kevin Durant, we'll see what they can do. Lauri Markkanen, he's been beat up and towed up with injuries, but even when he did go on the court and play, his rebounding is down, his shooting has been abysmal, and he hasn't really fit the way that we thought he would fit. We all thought Markkanen had a chance to be a big piece because they had Wendell Carter to really help protect the rim, rebound, and also set screens, making Markkanen have to do a lot less, and giving him more chance to do more on offense. Him and Levine was never able to find it. He was never able to find his rhythm. He was never able to find his touch. And he was never able to give the Bulls what they really needed, which was more offense. Instead, they found it throughout Kobe White throughout the season. And that's been a disappointment because he's only a rookie and he's not as big and not as efficient as Markkanen was last season. Markkanen had a season 2 years ago that showed that he was on pace to be an all-star. And this year is a huge step backwards in that direction, making him seem more like a player that can be moved, making him seem like a player that you start to question, can he really be a big impact player? Until then, we'll see, will he really be the all-star caliber player? Can he be the Kristaps Porzingis clone, who is a max player and has made it to the all-star team before? Can Markkanen get to that level? We will see. And number one, Draymond Green. It's hard not to say Draymond Green and disappointing, getting a huge contract extension coming into Golden State, and a lot of people, even me, playing well against the Rockets, playing well against the Raptors, really reinventing and finding himself against the Portland Trail Blazers, getting up and down the court, galloping, finding teammates, finishing around the rim, and just playing elite level defense, anchoring the defense while also making his teammates better. Maybe it was Steph being out, maybe it was Clay being out, maybe it was the motivation that he didn't have or the lack of the desire to not play, knowing that his two best teammates and his best friends, Clay and Steph, ain't going to play this year, and having no KD, maybe he lost all his determination and motivation this season to not really give his full effort, which is a huge disappointment considering the contract extension they just gave him and the fact that he's not going to make an all-star team or all-NBA team, and he has played, and you look at the numbers, mediocre to terrible basketball all season, hasn't been a leader on either side of the court, hasn't really played throughout the season through the nagging injuries. It really seemed like he quit and gave up on the team this year, and that's not what you want to see off a guy that you just gave the money and the contract in the years that you gave him this season. This is probably one of the worst seasons in Draymond Green career, and that's why it has been the most disappointing season so far for him. And you can say that even for the Warriors. The whole team fell off, but Draymond Green, all he did was whine and complain the entire season, and he didn't give full effort, and he didn't battle through the small injuries. He seemed like he just gave up on the team and just accepted that they fell off. Hopefully they can come back next year and have a chance to legitimately become a championship contender. And it will be good to see the trio try to challenge the best teams in the West and try to win a title again in Golden State. Well, in their new arena in San Francisco. But other than that, check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that continue to buy merchandise. If you want to buy merchandise, I have a spread shirt in the comment section below. There you can find merchandise of all types in the comment section below and in the description below. And also, if you want to buy merchandise through Facebook, I have pictures of logos and shirts that you can put together. You can change the color of the logo, you can change the color of the shirt, and you can message me with shirt and logo that you want on it, and I can get it shipped out to you. Other than that, let me know who y'all top 5 most disappointing players are. If you agree with my list, like. If you don't, just let me know what your list is, and if you think some players are even more overrated or even more disappointing than the guys I listed, feel free to let me know. If you disagree with anything, also let me know in the comment section below. I enjoy making videos. I enjoy hearing what you guys have to say, and at the end of the day, I'm gone. And like I said, I got this one to y'all early, and it's fun. So other than that, this is my most disappointing players this season, and let me know if you agree or disagree, or what's your top 5 in the comment section below. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis. I'm gone. Have a good day.